Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on KwingsLetsPlays. How's everybody doing today? So we will be doing the third case. I know, already the third case. So we're almost done with the first game in the series of the Great Ace Attorney adventure, starring, of course, Ryunoske. Special shoutouts to our friends Capcom for providing a copy of this game and sponsoring this series, as well as our giveaway. Hopefully today's not a 3-hour episode. I was not able to actually check and see how long the first part of the case is, so that is a big my bad on my end. But we're going to do the best we can, so that's all we can do. Today is also the grand finale of Skyward Sword. That means tomorrow Monster Hunter Stories returns to wrap up by probably August 3rd. And a fun reminder at the end of the stream, if you guys could please leave a comment, share this video. And Mario and Luigi is also back tonight around 10 o'clock, assuming everything goes swimmingly. Otherwise, it could be at 11.
Oh, wow.
I know. Oh my gosh, and I just woke up, so my voice is all bleh. But we are now doing case number 3, the Runaway Room.
Ooh.
Yes. So, here we go. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to go to continue.
I woke up a little bit late today, so...
Yeah, I needed to sleep. I feel off. I feel so off. Case number 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Ooh.
記録を読み返すと、あれは19世紀の終わり、厳しい冬のことだった。事件は霧深い深夜のロンドンの街路をひた走る乗り合い馬車の中で起こった。馬車には被害者と容疑者の両名のみ、複数の人間がその事件を目撃した。一体誰が想像しただろうか。この単純極まりない事件があのような恐ろしい結末を迎えることになろうとは。我が友シャーロック・ホームズはあの事件を振り返ってこう言った。思えばあの事件こそは序曲だったのかもしれないね。忘れがたきあの日本人留学生と演じた長い競争曲の始まりだ。
I think he's cool.
He is cool, but he extends stuff so long. Up, they're older.
Oh, cute.
すごい。これって本当に駅なのでしょうか。
駅にせよ違うにせよ、これほどの建造物は見たことがございませんね。
蒸気機関車があんなにたくさん。何なんだこの国は。
Wow.
これが大英帝国の帝都。
どう？あんたたち。
はい。
乗りなよ。どこへだって連れて行ってやるぜ。
それでは官庁街の高等法院へお願いします。
いいとも。あんたたち最近流行りの留学生ってやつかい？そうかい。それなら楽しんでいってくれよな。
Ooh, I love winter.
ようこそ世界の中心、大英帝国の帝都ロンドンへ。
It's a very pretty town.
Yes, it is. Oh, wow, that's a nice looking courtroom.
That's right, Talio, chaps, welcome to Great Britain. That's right, OH. Beautiful, colorful and light. Yep, definitely Cassie. 18th of February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court Chief Justice's office. Huh?
What an incredible place!
It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating.
This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress.
There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just the construction materials. What is this place again?
This is the Lord Chief Justice Office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain.
The Lord Chief Justice?
We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan.
But Kazuma can't.
No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity, as envoys, to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death.
Yeah.
And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done.
So we'd have to return to Japan then.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain,
I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour.
Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
Which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, Ryunosuke. You have officially recognized, you have to be officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
I hope I'm up to scratch. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you.
Whoa!
Whoa! I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh no, don't mention it. We've never been happier than we were standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Mael Stronghart, I think?
I think so.
The Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse.
It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Stronghart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you.
Oh wait, it says brace yourself because every character speaks in a British accent here.
Oh, no. We'll do the best we can, guys. I only have like 1 or 2 British accents, and one of them is a Conkly accent, which, I don't know. I'm saving that for a more, like, we'll say, dubious-looking individual. So what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here, I can't even remember a single thing about the city.
It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah! Oh?
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost at a loss for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, and even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
Oh yes, astounded is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Susie.
and everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological advancements from around the globe to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris World's Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world, you see. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on the British Empire. That used to be a saying.
Yep.
Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Law student. Lord Chief Justice, I think, you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves correctly. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed by the full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. It's amazing, the news reached him before even we arrived.
Yep.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, well, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of these news?
Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it is true. And if I wish some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Stronghart!
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then, the moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. Blink. The thing is, Justice Lord Stronghart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I had been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say this, man.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? If there's someone else from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's her! It can probably only be, yes, Miss Susie!
Oh!
I'm getting brownie points. An unusual introduction, but I presume you mean this charming lady beside you. Your lawyer, are you? That look she's giving me! After all the days of hard work she put in to help me study, I can't let her down now! I think that was quite enough joking, don't you, Lord Stronghart? My real answer is, it's me! I can do it! Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain and studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while on board the ship. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you would call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, but you must also complete several years of training. I realize that it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me on. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please! 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. Perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, well, thank you. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yeah. You say you intend to do everything as Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yeah, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there for all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I will give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test. So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. What do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh?
Huh?
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news.
Oh my gosh.
Today?
Uh-oh. Oh, straight away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. That could be... What could be simpler, yes? How'd I get myself into this situation?
Oh, geez. We're in trouble.
Yep.
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Stronghart?
Yes. Good question. I remember. It's a murder trial.
A murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment.
Oh my god!
Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law?
We can't possibly agree to such a test! We would be toying with the man's life!
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
Whoa.
But you can't do that, can you?
He just did.
He did. There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court?
Yup.
If I lose, he'll be hanged? Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. Huh? If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. Well then, I would like to understand just how far you're willing to give in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent, my dear fellow. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What is it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I'll do it.
Do it!
Alright then. If I have no choice in the matter, I can do it! I can't get the words out! 15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you need to be a lawyer. That's rather slow. Ah!
Oh, wow.
So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have no noble intentions, but the lack of resolve to see them through. Huh? The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by.
What?
Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Ryunosuke, no!
Yes, Lord Stronghart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I'm sorry, Miss Susie, but what could I do?
It's alright. I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susie means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially, well, it would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
He's gonna change his mind.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
I knew it.
Oh? Was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should be there in time. But I just said that. I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he cannot hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful! But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question.
Oh.
The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. What? I'm really the guy's only hope? So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Stronghart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh.
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
We have to get to the courthouse. He's gone.
The Old Bailey. Oh no.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
Okay, I guess we're moving on. The Old Bailey.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. Alright, 18th of February, my birthday! 9:45 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
Yep. Oh, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege?
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yeah, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here. But there's no sign of him at all.
So this is the Old Bailey, huh? Even this room for the defendant's wait is so grand.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. And oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam and sir.
Huh?
What are you doing following me here? Things are fair and desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, yours? Yes? We're from Japan, yes. Oh, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do you need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been here myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to do, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land? Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Ha!
1,000 guineas?
I think that's what it is. Please, Miss Susie, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
Nani? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have significant funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah, it hit me right in the eye! I'm gonna lose my eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be waiting. You'd do something for me, would you? Oh. To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial's about to begin, you see. It's good for myself here. I'll be in the dock. What? So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is... Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it up.
Terribly sorry to have to ask, but...
My British accent, I know.
Does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
I only know a couple different accents from overseas. Boston and Blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? Nope, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see.
I think it's cute, honey.
It fits his character, I think. I see, I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the centre of London, is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? 'Tis called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated to the city, so I did.
Oh, an entire park in central London?
A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its choir people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Oh, but now the Golders say I've got nothing to criminal, me Magnus McGilded? What is the matter with London police, I ask ya? Ha 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 ha. Alright, don't pass out there, mister.
Mr. Naruhodo! Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea! Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and we would be happy to put yourself in our hands. What was that after saying, you deaf digit? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yeah, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. He's all composed again. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. 'Tis chancer of fellow claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't be hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it, that's the only explanation. Well, exactly. Yes, exactly. What now? Well, I like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than you're guilty of the charges.
Ryunosuke?
Well, you call a spade in the East, you do. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Still, I can't express myself very well in English, you see? And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so... is that so? Because you sounded fluent enough when you were telling me about the background, I must say. Huh? I'm terribly sorry. Whoa, It's gonna be hard to laugh with this. I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella.
That sounds good.
It was a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fault of the Reaper. I'm sorry, what? Did he just say the Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Bovik van Zix. He's the prosecutor. I have no idea who that is.
The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper?
When Van Zix stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs, you see? And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation it is now, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of Old Bailey. We're doomed.
Goodness, Lord Barak van Zykes.
Wait, would that be German?
Barak von Zykes? I don't know. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. It could be German.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned in the council or something. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial's about to begin. His consul, would that be me? Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about this case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry. I've decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would you have worked that out? But then you made an appearance, a student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate, so don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. You're Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Naruhodo-san!
The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yeah, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel to the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you lose your right to stand. We'll be right there. Dun 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 dun. It's happening then. My first trial in the British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Here we go.
And here we go.
18th of February, Kwing's birthday, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, this is different. Well, if he's German, I'm totally going German. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan.
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, what?
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it. Ah! Oh, he's a count! Yes, perfect!
Oh my gosh!
And Sean Connery. Sold! I'm good. Okay, Here we go, guys and gals. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. What are you here today to determine the guilt of or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded? I now call upon the counsels of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is... The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Oh yes, of course, sorry.
Hi.
But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried.
Count Dracula and Sean Connery, says Kuropika.
Oh my gosh.
It's Santa, says Tara.
Those eyes please me. Nope, Nipponese. And what? You shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ha ha ha. A cold shiver just ran down my spine, all the way to the tips of my toes.
Well.
Yes, well. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, me lord. This is gonna be so freaking hard. You stand the accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty, my good man. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, me lord, it's a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow is a student from little far-off island in the Far East, it's not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give the less fortunate a fair chance. I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go play in the McGilded something?
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
Oh, McGilded? Dang it.
Gilded, like gilded gold. Gilded with gold.
Okay. I was calling him Mr. McGriddle. Oh well. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words, I suppose. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. It's probably a running pun on his name, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has puns.
Or you can make the guy sound German if you wanted. Or you can just
Eloquently
do it
put, Mr. McGilded, and the most laughable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that the 6 members of the public have been selected for impartially. Are you ready to proceed?
Curie says, well, vampires are usually from London.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this guy.
Yes, my lord.
There you go.
If the task is set, brought us to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready.
Thank you, Amber.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
Huh, any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me.
Wow, a lot of characters.
I feel a chill.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, these people are...
The jury? Yeah. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right. I've only read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know, but...
Oops.
I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yeah. Alright then, prosecution Dracula. Yes, my lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you would announce your fame. I am known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say, yes. But, yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years?
And he's just back.
Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Do not lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
Alright then, let's get this circus underway. As you wish, sir, the court nonetheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think, a summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this case is overwhelming simplicity. We must be only ones here who aren't aware of what happened. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was the maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice Fried Mason. Sorry? Thrice? Yes, Thrice. He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh my gosh. The victim's corpse was discovered ambiguous in the service of the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen, believed to be the ultimate cause of death, and he bled everywhere. Blah. I noticed the crimson color more than anything else. Here is the autopsy report of the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, Consul. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. Photograph of the crime scene and the dead corpse is now in the court record. And one further item of evidence, Your Honor. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And those are... Good Lord! Is that blood, Consul? I'm sorry, I was thirsty on the way here. Yes, my lord, I seized the policeman who arrived at the scene. I spoke with him. Very gently. These Gorsok gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. Nani? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, anyone can wear gloves. Unless their name is Juice. Yes, well, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves has been entered into the court record. How did it get to this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing, if you don't mind, Your Honor. Yes, according to the driver of the bus, whatever, omnibus, there was only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased, the brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Yes. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Sorry. Well, of course, I've no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded! To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, yes I did, but whether I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it, you see. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Letting it sit in his, open my eyes again, something like that. You get my words a little bit jumbled. 'Twas a desperate sight before me, the body of a man I never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask yous, what a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I was about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got into the gloves then after the man had been killed? That is unfortunately not true. The statement of the driver is only just the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Oh!
Hey, honey, people are, well, I can tell you later, I guess.
What?
Nothing. I don't know. People think like his expression looks like super serious, but never mind. I guess I'll tell you later.
But I like him being Dracula.
Okay,
he looks like Dracula.
Alright, if you think he sounds good as Dracula.
Order!
Luke likes it like Dracula, guys, so
yes.
that's how he's gonna do it.
That's how it's gonna happen because I don't have that many voices in my head! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there was a witness to the crime. This is not the case of compelling evidence, yes? It is the nail in the coffin for the accused. I mean, he's dripping of a vampire. What more do you want from me? Ah!
Yeah, put it like an angry vampire.
Angry vampire. I will try.
There you go.
Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime has been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once!
That's good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Luke's vampire voice makes him feel happy, guys.
Witnesses, your names and occupations, please. My name, everyone calls me Beppo, I think. I drive an omnibus in the Far East End.
Bruce Fairplay, I'm a baker in the city. I don't know.
My name's Faust. Lady Faust. I make hats for gents. I don't know.
I'll just be this.
Let's...
I don't know. Too many voices.
Too many! Let's begin by confirming the facts.
I probably should have done I'll do the last guy. You can do the second one.
3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the morning. Evening, sorry. All of you present at the stand were on the bus. A witness to the after-mentioned incident or something. Is that correct? Oh, that's Peppo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, right now. Yes, sir. There he is, a little bit older. Quite right.
Oh, yes, yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Oh, boy.
Witness testimony.
What the witnesses saw. It was. What was?
I forgot what the first one he did.
No, I did. It was an old man. It was like Master Roshi with. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it too well. Yes. The victim and the man accused of killing him were next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife into his guts.
Do you want me to do this guy, or do you
yeah,
want to do
go
him?
for it.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. Oh.
Yes, as soon as I heard the scream, I stopped the bus, and then I saw it too. Oh my gosh. Okay, not everybody will have an accent, because it's impossible.
Yeah.
The testimony, I must say, is very good. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident on the bus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, defense? Well, this testimony, makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly been seen what happened? Don't rub my belly like I'm a little good luck charm. There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. Blah! What? No!
Ooh.
How quaint. I'd read the civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. Mean. But here in London yourself, are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, Nipponese friend. Nipponese friend. Have you never traveled in a bus before? Well, no. I only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us to see ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What? What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes? The omnibus which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? Nani? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus! Oh! Wow. How did they... So that's the bus? I can't believe they could actually bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Blah! 4 passengers seated inside in the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the roof above. Every Londoner knows that the best view of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top and the bottom.
I like your tone.
I'm trying, there's too many characters. And I should point out to our foreign guests, his mysterious voice, there is a skylight in the roof allowing a view to the interior from the seat above. Ah, skylight. What? The penny drops at last, you see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ah, that makes perfect sense, I suppose. Well then, defense, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence, if that is the prosecution's wish. Let me just fix my hair there, alright. Very well, I see no reason why not to. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence in this court.
I don't understand where they were sitting.
They were sitting on top of the roof. There's a skylight in the top of the carriage they can look down.
Oh.
I can't believe it! The entire crime scene entered as evidence!
Yes! Great Britain is simply extraordinary!
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let's continue with the proceedings then, your cross-examination, counsel. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of British courts' cross-examination rights. Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Ow!
Oh.
Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. He does the Phoenix Wright thing of slapping himself.
Yep.
Okay, cross-examination.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yep.
What the witnesses saw.
It
was the last bus of the evening.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. Remember it well. The victim and the main accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife into his guts.
That's right. That's right. Ah, darn it, I don't know what kind of voice to use. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. Alright, this is not gonna work. I'm not gonna do a very good job.
He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sticking right out of his belly. That huge, great knife.
A grim sight indeed.
Yeah, my voices are not as good as Luke's, but at least he can rest his voice for a
Thank you,
person.
sweetie. Ah, that didn't help me at all.
He can't do every voice.
The jury looks like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before.
That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. Gilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Ryunosuke?
Mr. Frost!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
What's his
yes.
name? First? Oh, Mr. First. Oh, these puns. Is the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief. Yes, it is. The very one, sir.
Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. He's a freaking vampire, you guys. Come on.
He is a vampire.
He is a count.
He makes vampire references.
He makes
all the
his
time.
puns all the time.
Luke, you did the right voice.
Blah, 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 blah. That is the blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with the center initial. Prominently. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Ah, please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps. Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake. Hold on a second, but there are M's everywhere. Like, yes! Like in Mason. Objection. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No! The weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused!
But there's no way to prove that.
Yeah!
That's just speculating.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling. Counsel, the murder weapon has been added into the court record. Bum-bum-bum.
Is that me?
Me lord! Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind's made up, me lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Hold it!
Is that me?
Yeah, I think that was you.
Oh yeah, that is precisely what I was about to say. As a foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
Uh-oh. Whoa. What the? What is happening here?
Let me see. Yes, it seems that how the members of the jury gave their verdicts with fire.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocence, black for guilty. As the six members of the jury make up their minds about the case. One by one, they each cast a bowl of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean...
Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen, Ryunosuke.
Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Alright, very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury stats. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. Oh my gosh, that's Roshi. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm a little bit old. My name is Beppo for a reason. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Hold it! Thank you. What exactly did you see? Well, sir, that was a passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. And by passenger, obviously, you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this. By the other passenger, obviously, you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What?
Maybe Mr. McGilded was asleep and somebody else came in there. My lord, if you forgive the interruption.
Juror number 2, go on.
Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in this service know we must accept our truths.
Wait, what are you about to...
Dispose of the rubbish! That doesn't seem fair.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't even hear the whole trial.
No!
Yet. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
Hold it! Oh crap.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-reference all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Oh, what?
Not again!
This is not fair. That's 4 out of 6 juries who proposed a guilty verdict. Ryunosuke, there are only 2 left.
We've had it! Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make this situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We still have that much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may fly.
We mustn't give up on our hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back, Ryunosuke.
But... alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up, I guess. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witness statements again. Alright. So, when it happened, the only two people in the enclosed cabin were the victim and the defendant. And, so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend to the deed.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent?
I think
Or
so.
could it be...
He is innocent. But before we jump to conclusions, Ryunosuke, our first task should be to gather all the information.
If his name is Mr. McGilded, should I have made him Irish?
We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
Oops. Yes, you're absolutely right.
If you want to make him Mr. Lucky Charms.
Magically delicious. No, that'd be too hard to do. Let's listen to those witness statements again. Actually, maybe it'd be possible to do, but no, I don't think it would sound very good at all. No, I can't do it. Let's listen to those witness statements again, a little more
But you are
carefully
Irish.
this time. I be Irish, yes, but I don't have a very good Irish accent, I do. Not one that sounds very funny, mind you.
Oh, this guy could have been an Irish guy. Because he's wearing green.
Oh, that's stereotyping. Yeah.
Fine, I'm sorry.
How dare you, Amber?
I apologize to all Irish people.
How dare you be looking down on my people with your eyes, gazing at them like that? I'd be very mad at you, lass.
Sorry, I'm a Viking, so...
Yeah, I know you are. You're mean.
No, I needed food.
Yeah.
We needed food. You had all the food.
All right.
Where else were we supposed to get the food besides pillaging?
Remember, I also have Portuguese too, though. Which means nothing. Okay.
Portugal's a pretty small country,
it's so small, and it's basically Brazilian.
Does the other half of you even... No.
Wow. I'm done. This marriage is annulled. Oh, wait, we can't. Never mind. Let's see. Nope, that's Connery again. Yeah, there it is. Back of the throat. Okay, back. Dadgummit, there it is.
Do you want me to do the
No!
other guy?
It was the last bus of the evening, it was. I think this is a different old man.
I'll just say
That doesn't-
Rochi.
There's Rochi. There he is. It was the last bus of the evening, Goku. So I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing were sat next to each other beside the bus. Okay. Then, out of the blue, the accused reached over and plunged a knife deep into his guts. Hold it! You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? My name is Fair Play, after all. Or a fair dinkum had hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days?
He's a banker.
Oh, no. I didn't mean that. This is no good. I really got his back up. What? Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail, if you don't mind. Why don't you ask the young man next to me?
Oh, me? Oh, yes. Yes. That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did.
Hold it.
I
He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around and then,
Why is he fidgeting?
Yeah, you're right, he's fidgeting.
Excuse me. Well, Mr. Beppo? Oh? Me? Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the last statement? Well, sir, there's just one thing, sir. I was wondering what's gonna become of my omnibus after the trial. What do you mean? I can't help wondering. Will no one want to ride in a cursed carriage someone was killed in? Or will everyone ride in it, yes? The cursed carriage could be an attraction, maybe. It could sink or swim moment for me. Oh, yes! I think it will be, well, if you could just focus on the testimony for the time being, please! Okay, well, we already know it's not... Oops. Alright, so when it happened, the only two people, it's already going back to
the chat says that all the Irish viewers left and unsubbed. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, people from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
Ah! What am I supposed to think here? Is McGilded really innocent? Or could it be...
Before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information, Ryunosuke. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment. Like, we need to know how he's innocent.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Let's listen to those witness statements again. A little more carefully this time. We don't...
It was the last bus of the evening.
Statement number 2 is this guy, the victim and the man accused, blah, 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 blah. Statement number 3 got a reaction, blah, 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 blah. Statement number 4 got a reaction.
We stopped him.
The only one we haven't done is this guy's statement.
I stopped the bus and then I saw it too.
Try that one. Hold it! What exactly did you see? Yeah, well, that would be passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. And by passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And the passenger had that knife in his hand like this. Okay. Nobody seems to have a difference of opinion right now.
Nope.
By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. Belly.
Maybe you should... I mean, that... The prosecutor said by that passenger obviously mean that. Maybe you can say hold it on the prosecutor.
I don't think you could say hold it on the prosecutor.
Oh.
What? Order! Order! It is hard to believe of one London's greatest philanthropist, but this is very bad indeed. The law knows no philanthropist, my lord, only the innocent and the guilty. Good deeds mean nothing when overshadowed by evil. The truth is everything. Couldn't agree more, sir. The truth. Okay, no reaction.
I felt like when you were interviewing the middle guy, the old guy had a reaction to him. But
Okay.
maybe he's just shaking all the time.
I don't know. Okay.
Let us know in the chat if you guys see any reactions of people.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what's gonna have to happen.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we seem to be in a rather difficult situation here, Ryunosuke.
Yeah, we kind of are. Ah! What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Or could it be...
Before we jump to conclusions, it's our first task to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do.
Alright, chat, it's up to you guys. 'Cause, I mean, I've pressed everything that I can think of. I think we're missing some evidence.
Second statement says broads 11, so let's try that.
Try the second statement? Alright, second statement. So the statement number...
Victim and the man accused of killing were sat next to each other. There! Hold it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage, correct?
That's right, when you sit up on the top deck.
That's right, when you sit on the top deck of the windows right there at your feet.
Wait,
Why
is he always doing that?
Is he always moving?
I don't think so.
Excuse me. Well, Mr. Beppo? Me, sir? Do you have something to add in relation to the last statement? Well, yes, sir. Just one thing. I was wondering what's gonna become of my... Oh, no, he already did this. What do you mean? I can't help but wondering. Blah, 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 blah. Sink or swim, or could it be... well, okay. No, that doesn't help us. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife into his guts.
There! He did his hat. Oh, wait, he always moves his hat.
He's always moving his hat. I think the guy's always shaking, just for the sake of shaking.
Somebody said the guy on the right is reacting to the guy on the left. Well,
He is?
I don't know, it's hard to say.
You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Try this again. Excuse me. Well, Mr. Beppo? Oh, me, sir? Do you have something to add in relation to the last statement? Well, sir, yes, just one thing. No, he's gonna say the same thing every single time.
Matrix the Gamebot says, if I remember correctly, it's when one of the witnesses has an exclamation point. So they would have an exclamation point if they're reacting, I guess.
Oh. Well, we can focus on the testimony. Okay. I don't see anybody reacting, though.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It stabbed him. I screamed, I did. I couldn't help it. Soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my boss. Then I saw it too. Let's see if anyone else is reacting. Oh.
Nobody's reacting.
Do you want me to try it, or how do I do it?
I think we pressed everything.
Well, I mean, if we had pressed everything, wouldn't we have found something?
You would think so. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Yes, sir, that's right. Ever cold. It was freezing, in fact. Nope. I mean, his hat's always moving, but I just think that's just how they are.
Stuff.
And you had 4 passengers aboard at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus? Nope. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example? You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No one.
See if anyone's reacting.
Nope.
Okay.
No reaction.
Sorry.
So nobody fled the scene of the crime then? Yeah, I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Everything, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, this is sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, with that being so cold and everything, the only making 20 pieces on a run, you see. Yeah, I wish to spend that much on the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Yeah, I can't believe it, sir. I can't believe it. I'm murder on my own bus. And it's too awful to think about. I haven't been able to stop shaking ever since it happened. Oh, he's Irish. Me lord, I wish to... Oh, gosh, I can't... how do... Oh, there it is. Me lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5. Oh. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it? Stop it! It's so hard to go between all these blasted characters. It makes things very difficult, it does. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen... Wait, what the... I can't remember what... There it is. As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen... The idea of murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me, I think. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts. Though, I said to I can't do it. Oh, too many freaking accents. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind, a little... Giddy up now, Silver Blaze. Finish it in sight or something. Blah, 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 blah. Uh-oh.
Luke, did we say before the trial? We might have to do the trial again.
Beppo's a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
We can save right now.
Thank you, sir. You're too kind. Oh, this is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. I think this was supposed to happen.
Oh, the little lady. She's not gonna condemn.
Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes. I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? This is all part of the story, I think.
Well, dearie, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting.
What?
There's a lovely little park just near where I live. It's McGilded Park, it's called.
Huh?
He donated the park and she loves to sit there. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoner's face, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
Finally, some reason.
He's always doing wonderful things for the city.
That's right, a man like that would never stab someone, surely. Mother, may I go to the park and the public library later to borrow some more books?
I forgot what I had for her voice.
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know?
She loves going to the park.
What kind of man is McGilded? I want a McGriddle, blast it, really is.
You can call him McGriddle, but his name is McGilded.
I know. What kind of man is he? The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all the wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What? Uh-oh.
Oh, Stone the Cross!
McGilded lends money and at an extraordinate rate. Is extortion rate?
Extortionate rates.
What? Okay. McGilded lends money at an extortionate rate of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
Oh, I've never heard mention of that before.
Your facilities haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So, has the thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own?
Maybe he was trying to save money.
What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that! The victim, a poor bricksmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save a considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But, let it also be known that the day that Mr. Mason was killed, the final repayment date was for his debts. Good gracious! The bricksmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. Small life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
Hold it! If I might add something briefly. Miss Suzuto.
Miss Susie, what is it?
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
One moment, please. I need to take a drink of this wine.
What is he drinking there? I hope it's wine and
Goat's blood. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in the court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice! How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
Oh! As a judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all the monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh!
Yes, allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in toast of this enigmatic East at the same time. Marvelous toast, counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence.
Why would he kill somebody that owed him money, though? He could just keep getting money from him. Like, if you kill him, he's never going to get the debt back.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owned a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense, didn't he? Uh-oh.
Well, it would seem I've had the world pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi? What?
Modus operandi.
Operandi? Never heard of it. Modus operandi of the accused.
It's in Latin, honey.
Oh, yeah, no way I would know that.
Oh, and it's such a pretty little perk, too. Such a scoundrel.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no!
Still, maybe it's all for the best.
Whoa, wait a minute. Let's think about it a little more.
I don't stand for nonsense.
What?
They didn't even give him a chance.
What?
It's such a stupid trial.
That was it. The last juror's decision.
He didn't even get to speak and say his side of it.
Game over. Well, we failed.
According to this encyclopedia of British law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here in my book.
You don't have to break up your English anymore, honey. You can just talk normal. It's making you stumble a little bit. Aha! The final verdict is over then!
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense.
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Yes.
There was something she was about to say.
Yeah, they interrupted her. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision, Your Honor. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Miss Susie, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes.
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law, however, the defense... What did you want to say next?
Oh, yes, of course, Ryunosuke. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defense is guilty, the defendant, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. What's an examination summation?
Summation examination? Objection! The summation examination. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected?
Oh!
Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated? Wouldn't it be antique? Oh, whatever. Such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So, you're out of luck.
Oh.
What even is it, Miss Susie? This so-called summation of examination.
Oh, one moment, Ryunoske, and I will read all about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Naruhodo. I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decision, as it says here that... If successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions? Yes, in times gone by, the barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jurors' decisions. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of a purpose, that's why. Oh. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several.
We can do it.
No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try it in this day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that though it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. It's not outlawed. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
A summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or to admit defeat? Assert our right.
Yes! We can do it!
The defense wishes to assert its right to summation examination, my lord. Objection! London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of the judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should have been remained buried.
Just like vampires.
Yep. But it's our right! It's our right! I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
Yeah!
This is madness. Foreman, are you and your remainder of your jury ready?
Yeah? Oh, well, yes. Not. If not, there was no mention of this in the letter that I received, you see, so, yes.
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds?
You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Very simple.
Well, me lord, you rather putting the arse on the spot here.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold this with all justifying luck. Oh, that seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
All right, then. The summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? For 50 years. Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around. Oh, no.
Let's do it!
So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you. State the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of his most serious crime.
Yes, he looked offended that we asserted our rights. That's right, Ethan.
Judicial findings.
Rod says, do it, make your dreams come true.
The jurors' contentions.
Let's do this! Hype train!
There was no what else inside the carriage at the time. Was said it had to have been him, you know.
I trust the driver. He has excellent memory. Saves 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the next chap to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated all these statements. Haven't made such far drawn the logical conclusion.
Oh no. You can't trust the guild. Fare rates is our motto. We haven't raised prices about 4 pence for years.
And you said I'm Irish as for saying he was wearing green. The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor. It's big as belief.
I could actually add more insult to injury. He's also drinking. Oh!
Wow! Oh my gosh!
It's not a true morning unless I've had a pint to wake myself up.
Oh my gosh, Lou!
I'm sorry to all my brothers and sisters out there, but you know it to be true.
I know it's canceled for sure.
I'm half Irish, I can get away with it. I'm starting to wish that I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, do they, though?
Juror number 2 and 4, I think. Oh, no, wait, the old lady and the second juror. The 2 women. That's what I noticed. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. All 6? I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some of their persuasive language. Very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo.
What's up?
According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they'll become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I am just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see, so it's a contradiction in what the 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, if this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Find the contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off.
Yeah, let's do it!
We start the proceedings, counsel. I would ask you to take to the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. I'm still pressing the 2 women. I think that they're... Jury examination. The defense rebuttal.
Let's do this!
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it just had to have been him. Indeed.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
Hold it! But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is?
I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts.
I see.
A single penny could mean the difference between life and death, after all, can't it?
That's a saying in your country?
My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in the service industry would swear to that, sir.
Does that bench really need any more polishing?
So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. Gilded in the act, I do not doubt him. The only task left to do today is disposing of the rubbish.
Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think.
Now would be a good time to listen carefully to the juror's statements again, Mr. Naruhodo. If you notice an inconsistency in the 2 different jurors are saying...
I should expose it by pitting them against each other, yes. Let's see if I can just do that. He stuck the chap next to him. Just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Okay, that guy's not changing his stance.
I have simply typed and collated all these statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Maybe we should press her because she said...
You can't trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence. This guy talked about money.
All
Boom. Right. Hold it. That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As the guildmaster, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. 1 fare no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder is on our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to decline in passengers. You mark my words. It's all that rascal's fault. He must pay. Is it the crime of his buses he's worried about?
Yeah, he's more
anyway,
worried about his bus fare.
Every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says that he saw him do it, that fellow in the dock is the guilty of sin.
The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
But she was, like, nice last time.
I know, right?
On the floor! She said he stabbed him on the floor. He didn't stab him on the floor.
So we just need to find the 2 jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done.
Is that perhaps what you were just thinking, Ryunosuke?
How did you know?
Well, I took the liberty of doing some research, in case you happen to find yourself in just a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Go ahead! It will be an hour long. Very well, listen to this. 40 during the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use a triangle and pit with impunity. Having done so, you will be able to compare the chosen assertion with the other juror, selecting the corresponding buttons to listen to the other person. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected, nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which 2 contradict each other, and then press pit with triangle to pull them apart.
Oh. Okay.
So you pit one against the other instead of, yeah, I see.
Oh, I see. She wasn't joking then. She said it was long.
The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm sure you will start seeing which ones might not quite agree with each other, Ryunosuke.
Well, the two jurors that said stuff about money was Juror 2 and 5, and the ones that mentioned the stabbing was Juror 3 and the old lady. She's the last juror. So how do we get them to fight each other? Let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again.
That's the spirit! Well, one said that they stabbed him in the seat, and the other one said he stabbed him in the car.
There's a pit button now. Okay, so Juror 2.
Driver. So there's... Oh, wait!
There we go. Like this.
Yeah, so pit them against each other.
Let me just make sure. She was money. He said money. So, let's try it. Objection! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh, dear. What have I said?
I swear on the Silver Blaze's main and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly in front of me.
And the juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare of the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all, sir. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
I know what it is!
Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication...
That'd be 16, not 20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it would be 16 pence then.
Correct. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
There was one other person.
1 person's fare? Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious!
Oh!
This can't be right! The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men. One and all, trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims they most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon, missy. Oh, we got them fighting. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let a nefarious character ride his omnibus. Ah! Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end then,
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to do something like that?
Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Got him!
Innocent!
Woo!
Whoa!
Oh, this is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
Boom!
No way!
Wow.
For the love of Mike! Not you as well!
I love that saying.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear after all. I certainly cannot put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financing matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo! You did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more, huh? Actually. There is something else that's bothering me about the couple of their assertions.
Then that's where you must strike next, Naruhodo-san.
The jurors about the stabbing incident. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Yes! Exactly! You can do it!
Well then, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor once again. Continue with your summation examination.
I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has said for himself. I don't know what that means.
He stuck the next chap next to him like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. No.
And the lady.
And the lady at the end. Oh, you can't.
A scoundrel stabbing that man.
The scoundrel
Hey, you
stabbing.
can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's right. These two. Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain yourself. Post haste, Consul.
Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness today that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3... What? You can't see that I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that's what Mr. Fairplay's testimony was. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? Oh, what can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dearie, as far as I understand it, it was like this! He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor! The coachman said so himself!
There's 2 different ways that they said he was stabbed. Now don't move! Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never! They're stabbing in totally different directions. What?
Yep.
Bless my stitches! What a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh!
But why? Why the dickens would he lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me! Oh,
Got her.
I can't abide by people telling lies!
Boom!
Oh, wow. The scales. Oh,
I don't believe it! Dang, Naruhodo! Hold it!
wait! Now hear this, you fellow jurors. I warn you, you could not listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us.
Oh my gosh. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Doc Jinx.
Huh? Me?
Yes, you. What exactly is the problem? What if 2 witnesses have slightly different recollections of the event then?
What of it?
Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do that. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, both ways, huh?
Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife into you! Oh my gosh, you can't do that.
Who are you calling old? Why should take this needle to you?
They're ready to kill each other now.
No weapons in the courtroom.
But could the foreman of the jury be right? He has a sword on him, Amber.
Oh, never mind.
Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime?
No!
This isn't... No, it's not possible.
It's out of the question. Because they only stabbed him once.
That's right. No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman...
Oh, what is it, you dark jigs? Come on with it, then.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job here. As a foreman of the jury, I have responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction, then. So where's your evidence, man? What? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof.
It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable evidence. As you wish.
What?
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime as proven by... They have an autopsy report?
They do.
The autopsy report. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once.
Oh, wow, that was lucky. Only once? What?
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means the witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. All right, I concede defeat.
Whoa.
Whoa. What? Wait,
Good job.
that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won.
I don't know about winning, but...
What are you playing at, you dandy fool?
Shut your trap, sir! No one deceives me!
But we have a consensus here.
I said shut your trap! I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Ooh. Please tell me he's a barber.
Ew.
Well, in quite a remarkable turn of events, the defense summation examination has flipped the balance of scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for
Adjudicate.
What?
For me to adjudicate.
For me to adjudicate. I mean, ruling, I guess? The trial must continue.
Yeah, adjudicate, I believe, is to make a ruling. You can just say for me to rule.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I'll call upon all of you to continue pursuing the truth. Please be continued.
British people insult other British people in the most respectful way ever.
So, Lord Van Zeek, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Yep, totally. I agree, Kiri. How long has this been?
It's been pretty long. I think we should continue this for tomorrow. It's already...
Alright, then. This was just getting good.
Well, I have a feeling that if they do the to be continued whatever, I don't think they're going to, but I think that's a good enough place to stop, because I need to rest up for the Skyward Sword finale. Get me some cereal in me and all that good stuff. So, there we go.
Yep, I agree, Kiri. The British people do insult each other in a very respectful way.
I thought I did save. Save.
Yeah. Saving.
There we go.
Save complete.
Alright guys, so if you want to see more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the Runaway Carriage episode, you have to tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the next part of the trial, part 2 of case 3. We hope you guys had a lot of fun. We had a blast, and we'll see what happens tomorrow Will the McGilded guy be given a not guilty, or will Naruhodo's career be ended here in Britain? You'll have to wait to find out. In just a short while, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword final episode will air, and then after that will be more Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, hopefully starting around 10:15. So,
awesome.
And then I can go to Twitch tonight, because I really, really want to stream on Twitch. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. As always, it's imperative that you leave a comment after this video. Tell us who your favorite character was that Amber and I voiced today, and what you thought about the trial. You can even make fun of my Dracula voice if you want to, but he's a vampire. I call it how I see it, and that's how it works. But we're going to go have dinner, and then we'll see you guys on Skyward Sword. Thank you again, Capcom, for providing another awesome game for us to cover, and we had a blast. All right, see you guys with Zelda in a little bit.
Awesome. God bless and happy gaming. See ya.